Hey guys, it's Bill from Linden, Tennessee. So, today is Friday. Last Wednesday, I got a whole bunch of parts in the mail, or it's sitting on my porch from Amazon. One of them being this radiator. It's a 3-core aluminum radiator. I got off at Amazon. It was only 90 bucks. I was looking on Summit Racing for radiators so I can upgrade this coolant system on the Jeep. And they were like 200-300 bucks, and I was ready to buy one. And then about the time I was about to hit the yes, let's buy it button, Greg Coles, uh, another converter out of Atlanta, Georgia, he gave me a call and we were talking for a little while and I told him what's going on. And he had converted an F450 four-wheel drive, put a Tesla drive unit in it. And you can check his videos out. They're actually really good on YouTube. Greg Goes Electric is his YouTube page. And I think Greg Goes Electric also is his Instagram account. I haven't got into Instagram. He tells me I need to do it because that's what all the cool kids are doing, but I don't know. I've never been very cool, but I'm all right by that. And anyway, he said that in his F450 project, they used a Honda Civic radiator. So got off the phone with him and went on Amazon, and sure enough, they had plenty of them. This is a racing version, 3-core aluminum racing radiator, and it was only 90 bucks. So I'm like, well, heck, I could at least buy that and try it and see maybe it'll work, and I won't feel so bad modifying it if I have to. So I did, and it showed up Wednesday. Then I came out here in the garage Wednesday and was holding it in place, trying to figure out what I'm going to do with it, and kind of came up with a plan. So I stepped back, grabbed my video recorder here. It's also known as my phone, and shot a video. And the intent was it was going to be a multi-part series of how do you do this? How do you get the raw parts, have a concept in brain what you're going to do, and then how do you put it all together to make it go? How do you make it work? How do you figure out where brackets are? What kind of things do you consider, et cetera, et cetera? Maybe a number of people watching this are beyond that. They don't care, but there are some people out there who are finding this months or even years after I recorded this now that are just kind of getting into this whole let's make a car electric. How do I do it? So I was going to use it as a kind of a reference video, maybe a little instructional. And then I was doing the video and I got about 15 minutes into it and, wrapped it up, and that was cool. And then as I was posting it on YouTube, I was rewatching it, which is something that I usually don't do, which I probably should do, but I didn't. I was rewatching it and I'd made a few errors. I'd said some things that were just wrong. I don't know why. I just got them wrong. It was like, well, I can't send that out. So the plan was to come in here Thursday and redo the video. Well, that didn't happen. Thursday came along. We had a snow day at work, so I had all day Thursday to work on this. All day Thursday really means sometime after lunchtime because I'm lazy and sitting around on the couch all day. Came in here, started working on stuff, moving stuff around, mounting, making brackets, moving stuff, and by the end of the day, there you were into Thursday, and then I was going to make a video, you know, try that again. And then, my wife calls and said, hey, look, dinner's ready. So I went and ate dinner and, it never happened. So here we are, Friday, and I've been working on it all day Friday. And now I'm going to make this video about 2 or 3 days late. But anyway, the point is there's a lot of stuff to think about when doing this. And I'm going to maybe try and piece together a couple videos. Because what we got right now is I'm coming up with the bracketry for how this is going to be held in the Jeep. These tubular pieces right here, if you've ever seen a Jeep Wrangler, this is kind of a V shape. It sort of goes around in one continuous loop of a V, and it has some bolts down here on the bottom of the grill, and then these two bolts are up here on the top of the grill. And I guess it's a radiator core support. Well, I'm going to reuse it. Obviously, I cut the bottom part out and have sort of bent it to fit my needs. This is the radiator, the coolant fan from the transmission coolers that I previously had in there. So I'm just going to reuse this part. And so I took these and made up some little brackets, got everything kind of sitting where I needed it to be, sort of spot weld these in place, and now I'm just making these brackets here. A lot has actually a lot of work has actually been done on this radiator too. You see a little welded plate down here. This is where, this is being the bottom of the radiator. This is where like a drain nut, little wing plastic drain plug was. So that, since this is going to be the driver's side, sideways. So this is gonna be mounted sideways in the Jeep. And the next video will make this a little more clear. I don't need that anymore. This is where the upper radiator hose was. I'm not gonna need that there anymore. This is where the this here dude, that was right there. So the radiator cap, that's where the radiator cap was, but that's on the side now. Not gonna need that. This piece right here made me a little 3/4 inch OD tube with a 5/8 inch hole in the middle of it, and then just sort of chopped that off here, and then made a couple little pie cuts, pulled it together, and then welded it, and then made, you know, this little bend that I need. So that this is gonna be the hot return from the inverter. So the hot return will come up, go in here, do its cooling thing, come back down, and maybe it'll come out here into the pump, or I may chop this off and put a plate on it and put a you know, another one of those over here. I don't know. I haven't figured that out yet. But one thing I needed to do before I got too carried away with all that was make my brackets for how this is going to be held in the Jeep and how the fan is going to be held, because those need to be in place first. Then I can figure out where all this stuff goes, because you don't want to have interference. And that's just one of the number of things that you got to try and think about when making this stuff. You don't want to put a bracket or a bar or a support or something in the way of something that you're going to need later. And that's just kind of where doing this and experience comes in. And you're probably going to get it wrong. If this is your first shot at doing this stuff, you're going to get it wrong. And you're just going to have to remake parts. And that's okay too. I mean, that's why, you know, that's why we have grinders. I've got 3 grinders. I've got one with a cutoff wheel and 2 other ones with a sanding pads on it. So I mean, that's just what we do. We make stuff and it's wrong and we cut it out and we try it again. That's the beauty of working with metal. And yeah, so this is going to be part 1. So that's where we're at right now. So this is going to be part 1, and I'll try and do sort of more update videos as we go. But next thing online will be making another bracket down here. Where we at? This one, that little mounting peg right there, and then making one for up here on this mounting peg and one over there too. And once I got those on there, then I'll put all this stuff back in the Jeep, make sure it fits the way I want it, come back over here and actually finish out all these welds, and then paint it. And I got to make a bottom plate, and then that'll bolt to the same location that the bottom mount for the other radiators went. And yeah, that's what we're doing. So stay with me. We'll get some more videos out and show you how this comes along. All right, talk to you later.